Welcome to the all-new Sports Visions on Bounce TV and to our worldwide web viewers on www.sportsvisionusa.com. Hello, everybody. I'm DJ Jones, joined by my good friend and traveling partner, Dale Williams.
What's
How are
up?
you?
What's up, player?
Hey, man, it's rivalry weekend, man.
That's
and
right.
you know, we went back and we had some battles, man, with Georgia Tech, Auburn,
right.
and Florida. And this is the last weekend of the regular season, which means that this is the big one.
This is the big weekend, rivalry week, regardless of the records and the outcome, it doesn't really matter. But regardless of the record, it's rivalry weekend. Anything can happen, player.
Coming up in just a little bit, we'll have an opportunity to talk about those traditional rivalries. I'm talking about the Iron Bowl. I'm talking about the Georgia State Title Bowl. And I'm talking about all those great rivalries that you grew up watching and we played in. And, of course, we have an opportunity to talk about some wonderful things going on this Thanksgiving.
This Thanksgiving, hopefully everybody's having a great Thanksgiving or had a great Thanksgiving. And really, we're thankful for still being on the air. And really, rivalry week, championship week next, a lot of more football to be played.
Last but not least, we have a nice treat for you. Clinton Reyes, who is Director of Marketing and Entertainment with Universal Sports, he's going to come on and talk to us a little about some of the nuances of the business and of course, what he does for his clients. All that and more coming up next on Sports Visions. Sports Visions presents the 9th Annual Columbus Valley Area High School Football Awards Luncheon. 11:30 a.m. at the St. Luke Ministry Center in Columbus, Georgia. The awards luncheon ceremony will acknowledge 25 of the area's top high school football head coaches, along with each of their best offensive and defensive players. The ceremony will be highlighted by the selection of the Valley area's best academic, offensive, defensive, special teams, coach, and middle school player of the year, as well as several community service awards. The guest speaker for this year's awards ceremony will be the University of Georgia Bulldogs head coach, Kirby Smart. For more information, contact DJ Jones at 706-681-1136 or Dale Williams at 706-681-5192. Welcome back to Sports Visions, Dale. It's rivalry week, and I know when it comes to us and how we look at it at the University of Georgia, Georgia Tech, the state championship game. This is a game that, you know what, I know it never happened with me, but a lot of the Georgia people just hate the Georgia Tech people.
Well, that's what it is. It is what it is. They don't try to hide it. We know that the University of Tech would, and, we refer to them as, and the varsity over there as being their cafeteria. But we used to love to play downtown Atlanta. I used to love to go to Georgia Tech and play at night. Play over there at Grant Field, but really we just don't like each other, player.
Well, of course, in my 4 years at Georgia, I never lost to Tech. I know they've had some great athletes and some great teams and some great times, but how did you fare?
Never lost to them.
Wow.
Never lost to Georgia Tech, but like I said, man, we used to look so much forward to staying over in Atlanta. We wish we could have played them in Atlanta every week. So, just staying over after the game, that was a big thing for me. And, I always got up to play Georgia Tech like I got up for everybody to play, but really for Georgia Tech.
I never said this publicly, but I kind of admired those guys that were able to go to school and take care of their business in downtown Atlanta. Because, when we came from Athens and had the opportunity to play them at home, and Coach Dooley allowed us to keep our rooms that Saturday night to stay over, it's nowhere in the world that with all the distractions and all the wonderful things to do in Atlanta, it kind of been hard to be a student.
Lord have mercy. We always were glad that we were in Athens. Like you said, all those great things. But the best recruiting tool that Georgia Tech has is the city of Atlanta. Downtown Atlanta, Grant Field, playing at night, playing downtown Atlanta, and all the other things that go along in the Atlanta, Georgia area. But at the same time, DJ, when that game came around, it's just good old clean hate.
Well, let's talk some football. Let's meat and potatoes. Again, as it pertains to the University of Georgia, Kirby Smart, of course, coming off of a big win at home. Again, getting, I think that was 3 in a row, showing some promise, getting the rushing game back in order. It was good to see the fact that Nick Chubb was back running the football and getting rushing for over 100 yards. But, also Jacob Eason had some opportunities to pass the ball. But more importantly, Isaiah McKenzie? McKenzie, he was just phenomenal. The special teams aspect, running back a punt, 82-yard punt, breaking the return record at Georgia, going down. So he's going to have his place in history. But all of that seems to be coming together at the right time.
It's coming together, DJ, and really those are some of the things that people look forward to early on in the season. And like I said, everybody got an opportunity to shine in this game. And then at the same time, DJ, they were working on some development of some players because down the road, really you just going to start extending your spring practice, DJ. You know, they might probably go to a great bowl. I hear the Belt Bowl at this point in time to go up against Miami, which will be a good matchup. But at the same time, I think everybody's just fine-tuning. They got to get this game out of the way because you still want to win out regardless of whether you go in a bowl game or not.
Unfortunately for Auburn, if this team was going to be playing, that's going to be playing on this Saturday, could go back 3 weeks, then they would have a healthy Cameron Petway. They would have a healthy Sean White, the quarterback. Right now, those two guys, are banged up. Petway with the pulled muscle. Again, the quarterback, supposedly a bad shoulder. And some other injuries. But again, you know what? Bottom line is, I think Auburn's going to come out fighting. They don't have anything to lose. Alabama, #1 in the country. Everybody's national champion. And you know what? Alabama really has everything to lose.
Well, everything to lose, and then at the same time, DJ, if Petway can play, if he can play, it's going to be that's a game changer. If they get good play from whoever they choose, the quarterback, that's going to be that's going to be a good thing for Auburn. But if neither one of those things are clicking, something bad is going to happen to Auburn. And then, for their defense, I still say Alabama has the best defense in the country. If they get turnovers, turn them into 6 points, good field range, I think, man, that thing's going to get real ugly, and I got to warm the jet up and send it out.
For as great a coach as Nick Saban is, this is the deal. We know on December the 3rd, a week from this Saturday, they'll be playing in the championship game, the SEC championship game against Florida. Right. However, there's a team called the Auburn Tigers that they have to play this week. And again, you're looking over to your SEC championship. You can't look, but you can't overlook Auburn.
No, you can't. You can't overlook them, man. Because really, man, they had a stretch this year, DJ, and really they played good enough defense to have probably a 1-loss season right now. I mean, they played great defense, not scoring, being the question marks on offense, and then they hit this slump. You get Sean White, you get him hurt, and now you don't know if you're going to roll with Jeremy or not. You don't know if you're going to roll with the Franklin guy. But at the same time, if you're playing against Alabama, you better have somebody athletic, and God knows Sean White needs to be healthy, because if not, they're going to get after him, and it's going to get ugly.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our Chick-fil-A Picks of the Week.
All right, DJ, this week we got Alabama against Auburn up in Tuscaloosa, Georgia against Georgia Tech over in Athens, Ohio State against Michigan, Louisville against Kentucky, Florida against FSU, Baylor against Texas Tech, and Notre Dame against the upstart USC Trojans. Don't forget to stop by Chick-fil-A on Bradley Park to fill out your Picks of the Week form.
It's time to save during the Nissan Year of the Truck and SUV event at Headquarter Nissan. Now, save $4,500 on new Rogue. Save $10,000 on all remaining 2016 Nissan Titan XDs. And get America's best truck warranty. Take on any job with Nissan trucks and SUVs from Headquarter Nissan.
Yes, Columbus is a Nissan town. Now it's going to be a Titan town. $10,000 off 2016 Titans.
When I decided to write a ton of world-famous music after I'd lost my hearing, people thought I was crazy. Just like the other day when I wanted chicken for breakfast. People thought I was crazy again. How'd everything play out? Let me tell you about it. I'll bet you $10 that you have heard the tune I'm singing now, because I went on to be the best composer of all time. Then I went down to Chick-fil-A and ordered their brand new egg white grill. The whole thing was 300 calories and seriously the best thing I've ever had. So to recap, I'm the best composer ever in the entire world. And Chick-fil-A's new egg white grill is really, 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 really good.
Chicken for breakfast. It's not as crazy as you'd think. Try the new egg white grill from Chick-fil-A.
Welcome back to Sports Visions. It's now time for our Atlanta Falcons report. And Dale, after a much-needed week off, and I'm glad to know that the Falcons are ready to get back at it. They're a lot more healthy. They got their legs back under them, and I think that they're ready to come down the stretch here.
Well, hopefully, DJ, they're injury-free. They rested, got fresh legs. I hope all those things concur. But at the same time, DJ, it is very important that they hit the ground running after this bye week when they're playing the Cardinals this week. I think really if they can win those first 2 games and then they can win the last 2 games of the season, they're going to be in a good playoff position. And I think at the same time, I just see a collision course with the Seattle Seahawks again or the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, let's just start with what's imminent. And, of course, that's the game on Sunday back home at the Dome, going up against the Arizona Cardinals, who have been up and down. But for the most part, the Arizona Cardinals have a really good football team.
They got a real good football team. They got a great defense. They just really – the question mark is at quarterback. You know, they have to work real hard to score points. But, you know, Carson Palmer, you know, he just seemed not – to be able to turn the corner, DJ, and make some plays. You know, Larry Fitzgerald can beat you by himself. I think at the same time, the Falcons, I hope they're new and improved on defense, DJ, and they got to get a whole lot more aggressive on defense.
This 6-4 Atlanta Falcon team obviously is different, Dale. We've witnessed several games, and, you know, this team has a lot of energy. They play with a lot of fire and zest. They have some of the most explosive athletes, offensive athletes in the NFL when you consider the dynamic duo of Devin Coleman and also Devontae Freeman. These 2 guys, I mean, arguably, you know, Freeman has already proved that he's an all-pro back. But, again, if Devin can stay healthy.
I think really he's going to come back fresh. He's got to be fresh, DJ. I think, almost 3 weeks, almost a month off with that hamstring injury. Hopefully he's healthy because at the same time, when they have a dynamic duo going and either of those guys can combine for 100-plus yards, running and receiving, that's big. That was a big point of the Atlanta Falcons offense, you know, being able to dump the ball off to their running backs and then hitting Sanu, hitting Julio. They got some playmakers, and I hope they can hit the ground running like they left.
All right, let's move on to the hottest football team, and I never thought I'd be saying this. The hottest team in National Football League right now, the Dallas Cowboys. Again, I'm not a Dallas Cowboy fan. I'm a Dak Prescott fan. And you know what? That young man, basically, Dale, he makes me proud because, again, not only does he represent the Dallas Cowboys, now he comes from the SEC, which is our conference.
That's right.
And, again, we saw this young man for years operate on that same mode. Little did we know he would take it to the next level and perform at this rate.
I mean, really, DJ, like you said, hats off to him. And like I said, if I had an MVP vote, I would give it to Dak Prescott. Definitely either an MVP or the Rookie of the Year. I think he's been a game changer. He's just turned the whole Dallas Cowboys system around. They're playing better. I mean, really, there's no problems. I mean, you got Dez Bryant contributing, you got Witten contributing. You got players, you know, the Ezekiel Elliott piece, you know, they got players, and they're doing well, but the impact of this guy, that's why I would give him my MVP because he's turned the whole team around.
Leadership qualities to the utmost. I mean, nothing bothers him. He's poised. You know, he acts like a 10-year seasoned vet. Yes. And, again, what's more important, he's led the Cowboys to 9 straight victories, and that hadn't happened. I think he's the first rookie for that to happen. And, again, it hadn't happened in Dallas in a long, long time.
You know, not just as a rookie, DJ, ever happen. 9 straight victories.
Okay.
That is huge. And like I said, I mean, if they even continue to play good enough defense, DJ, they're going to be something to reckon with. You know, like I said, you know, the top 3 teams I got in that NFC East is Dallas, Seattle Seahawks, and the Atlanta Falcons, if I was doing it. And then you could throw the New York Giants in there, and then probably the other wild card team that, you know, you could just throw the Vikings in there somewhere. But I think really, man, we're on collision course for some great NFC playoff games.
If Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys is the hottest story, the next warmest story, I think, is the Oakland Raiders and David Carr. What he's doing. They're 8-2 right now, and David Carr has been playing lights out. And, again, a lot of weapons, but at the same time, nobody thought that this young quarterback would have matured to this level so suddenly.
Oakland Raiders got an offensive line, too.
Absolutely.
And they got some big ballers on their line. So, at the same time, I think it's going to be very interesting for the Raiders. Can they win those big games? Can they beat the Broncos in the West? Can they beat the Chiefs when it's time, when the money times comes around? Because really, when you look at the AFC, DJ, I got the Patriots and the Raiders at this one. Those are the 2 hottest teams in the AFC. So really, you know, at the same time, it's going to be interesting.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our Crown Royal picks of the week.
All right, our Crown Royal picks of the week. We have the Falcons against the Cardinals up at the Georgia Dome. The Rams against the Saints, the Seahawks against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Carolina Panthers against the Raiders out in Oakland. Kansas City Chiefs against the Broncos at Mile High. The Patriots against the Jets. And the Packers against the Eagles. Don't forget to email all your picks to Dale Williams at sportsvisionusa.com at 12 o'clock on Sunday.
Dedicado al chofer designado, sigue reinando.
Why do we have Aflac?
Aflac.
And Major Medical?
Major Medical boy, yeah! I help pay the doctor. Ain't that enough for you?
There are things Major Medical doesn't do.
Aflac.
Pays cash so we don't have to fret.
Something families should get.
Like a safety net.
Even helps pay deductibles to cover your back with.
Learn about one-day pay at aflac.com/wrap.
Welcome back to Sports Visions. I'm proud to have with me right now a young man that I am eager to just interview with regards to marketing and branding and all those great things as it has to do with professional athletes today. I'm proud to bring to you Clinton Reyes with the Universal Sports, the Director of Marketing and Entertainment. Welcome to Sports Visions.
Thank you so much, DJ Jones. Appreciate you having me. What the scenery is. This is beautiful. I love it. I need to get a place in Columbus.
Wonderful and beautiful Columbus, Georgia. Of course, we're here on the grounds of the Hilton Garden Inn, one of our sponsors for a long, long time. But more important, let's get right into it, man.
Right.
You have an opportunity to work with professional athletes and entertainers.
Yes. Right.
And for the most part, as the Director of Marketing, what is that primarily? What does that consist of?
Well, it's everything from the branding of the athlete or the entertainer, and making sure that they're receiving the right perception that associates and affiliates themselves with their team or their agency, so to speak, if you're talking about an entertainer. So from the grassroots, when we recruit, we want to make sure that we get these individuals in front of the right teams, whether that be a business or the actual franchise that they play for. We're going to make sure that the fit is for their lifetime, because it's much more than just a term that they play sports in for a short term. It's about, how do they brand themselves after life, coming into civilian life. So it's a little bit about what we do.
Let's get a little closer to the nuts and bolts of this thing. You, in particular, work with professional football players. Morgan Burnett, the starting safety with the Green Bay Packers. Isaiah Crowell, starting running back with the Cleveland Browns, and others. But for you, when do you think your job is done? When have you think you have completed your task when it comes to those guys?
It's never done. Even post-retirement is never done. My phone is always on. I tell parents when we're actually recruiting new athletes, I don't really have a job description. It's about being available, and it comes with passion, and it comes with perseverance. So, it's not rocket science when you market, but it does come with a keen understanding of being able to represent yourself and your partners in front of businesses. But there's never an on and off time for it, so to speak. I can get a call at 2 a.m. to make sure that the client is in the best standing, or you can call at 8 a.m. to make sure they're set up for an interview with individuals like yourselves to report on goodwill, like what we did today, so to speak.
So in addition to securing a sporting goods manufacturing contract, apparel contract, or for that matter, a car deal or an appearance or a card deal, social media is so big today. How does that all work together?
You know what? That's really, I humbly say this is one of my niche in this business, because you're continually evolving, right? Social media, namely Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you don't adapt to one of these three networks and make sure that you capture the audience, the younger crowd, the 7-year-olds all the way up to really the mid-30s, mid-40s, the audience that is tying on to the social media age with digital television, so to speak. So to elaborate in that a little more, what I mean is that you have to be able to interact with your fans, whether it be posting up articles, pictures. Snapchat is another big one. So it's about evolving and making sure that you touch in these bases. Now, when it comes to marketing, the direct message feature that's on a lot of these social media avenues, there's not one person in the world that you cannot reach. And that's something I've tapped into. So if you want your client to get in front of a big firm or a big company and you don't necessarily have a contact you on their website, you DM them and you hope they reply. And after that conversation happens, product placement is generated, appearances are generated, and your clients are really put on a pedestal to make things happen from there.
Clinton Reyes with Universal Sports. Of course, he's director of marketing and entertainment, and you know the big thing with professional athletes today. But I want you to look at that camera because there's so many young men out there that don't quite understand how important.
Right.
You know, it's one thing to have an agent, but it's another thing that you have to have as far as being a complete and having a total package. Having somebody that can look out for your best interest and obviously put you in front of the right people.
Absolutely. It boils down to having faith, being passionate, you know, about your craft, and the devotion is a daily thing. It's not something you can just turn on and off. You really got to go and get it. And you can call any one of my clients right now. We're about a mid-sized firm at Universal, 20-some odd guys. And we recruit to be able to touch every one of them. We don't recruit to say, hey, we have the most clients in the NFL, but we recruit to service at a respectable level. So, you know, it's really about who you surround yourselves with. That's going to be your reputation and for the long run, because there's life after football, there's life after basketball. And these companies want to trust you with their product and trust you with their customers. So to align with their best interests, they need to have someone that's got their their clients in the most polished of aspects, so to speak.
Before we get out of here, Clinton, I want you to talk to me a little bit about, obviously, you know, again, when you talk about personal accomplishments and things you've done in business, what are you most proud of?
You know what? And I'll share something personal. Myself and my fiance, Jennifer, we just moved back up to Atlanta, Georgia. I was born in Augusta, Georgia. I did some time with the Orlando Times in Orlando, Florida. I worked NBA media for a while there. I was actually an NBA agent prior to. But coming back home and being able to be a part of Universal Sports on the home turf, be around my family, and to be able to touch these guys, you know what? My dad always tells me, when you start something, finish it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So your feet can't take you where your mind has never been. So I envision this, and I challenge everyone else who's had a dream to really, you got to pursue it. And it takes perseverance, it takes planning, it takes, just being, not quitting, because you never know how close you are. And that's something that I take near and dear to my heart. So.
Lastly, and again, I want you to look into that camera, because there's some young people out there that say that they want to do marketing and they want to do promotions. What feel or what advice do you have for those folks?
Well, stay in school. First of all, get your education, because you'll get polished along the way. Whether you majoring in, communications, or like myself, bachelor's of business management with a focus in marketing, your core is going to build you to relate to businessmen, to relate to other genres, to relate to other people. And that's really the secret, is to be able to relate, because once you can grab that book of business, which you form your contacts, you never know where the avenue is going to take you from there. You know, it's all about relationships, and your reputation is what you create from the beginning. So stay in school, get an education, and just market yourself and connect. Surround yourself with others who are already doing it. You know, the best practice is people who are already in the business. So,
ladies and gentlemen, Clinton Reyes with Universal Sports. We'll be right back after this.
It's really Thanksgiving today. Being able to give back to the needy is everything. And I hope that everybody will prosper from this. This is a vision that Pastor Reggie and our church had to feed 100 people. And then Isaiah, it was his vision to match it with 100 turkeys. So to God be the glory.
And welcome back to today's final segment of Sports Visions, Dale. A lot of football, rivalries and all, man. I tell you, you know what? This is the weekend that everybody's been waiting for.
This is a big weekend, DJ, and you know, the Thanksgiving piece, you know, great games on Thanksgiving, but at the same time, DJ, those championship games, and you got, you know, rivalry games, then the championship week. Like I say, man, it's a lot of football, player.
I'd like to take a few minutes to thank one of our local hometown heroes, Isaiah Crowell and his family, Dale. They fed 100 families. They partnered with their hometown church, of course, the South Columbus United Methodist Church on Benning Road. Man, I was out there and had opportunity. You could see some of the footage, man. A great event. Reverend Reggie Williams out there, man. It was just a tremendous day.
a great day. That's a great thing, man. And it's good to see that Isaiah's got his heart in the right place. Debbie, they raised him the right way and really just showing and giving back to the community and being socially conscious to help somebody outside of football. That's big, and we're proud of you, Isaiah.
Absolutely. And at the end, those turkeys there, when you think about a turkey giveaway, now I heard that they were 20-pound plus turkeys, and you're going to see some pictures there. I mean, these are some huge turkeys, man. And again, they had a bag of all the other fixings that go with the Thanksgiving dinner. But the 100 families were selected by the South Columbus United Methodist Church. And again, it was just great to see those families come out and for Isaiah and the South Columbus family to take care of him, and his mom and his family, his brothers, and again his nieces. I mean, Isaiah, his whole family was out there, man. And I had chills just watching that and understanding, hey, where this young man has come from and what he's able to do now.
Well, DJ, that's what Thanksgiving is all about: giving back to the community, being a blessing to others. When you've been blessed, I mean, just giving back, feeding people that don't have, trying to do something that, outside of yourself. That's what Thanksgiving is all about, man.
We appreciate you, Isaiah, man. And, of course, we want you guys to get a victory here real soon. Last but not least, of course, Dale, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. We're in 7 to 10 days from our 9th annual Columbus Valley Area High School Football Awards Luncheon. And you know what, man, things are coming together. And again, I know that this is almost like our big kickoff.
I mean, really, man, we're ready. I mean, this is the full quarter for us to get ready. But when you've done something over the years, 9 years, DJ, I'm proud of that fact. But at the same time, every year this thing's getting better and better. Regardless, whoever comes, it still's getting better and better. The corporate community still blesses us with this event also, but really at the same time, that's why we were trained, just try to get better, man.
25 local high school coaches in our viewing area in East Alabama, West Central Georgia, 50 of the very best high school football players in this region. So we're looking forward to honoring those guys and giving them the exposure and having Coach Kirby Smart come down and speak some words of wisdom.
That's going to be big, man. Like I said, man, I really like the alumni group of guys that have come through here for within that 9 years. That is huge. The coaches that have come down here to speak to these kids really just points one finger at this thing. We got ballers around here.
All right, not only that, Dale, before I get out of here, I got to thank all of the great people out there, from the Ledger to the Courier to Al Hayes over at PM Beef, have been writing and, of course, doing some great interviews, giving us some great exposure, because we're just doing what we do. And these folks recognize it, and they're sharing it with the community, and we appreciate that.
We appreciate everything that they've done, for us, the articles, for us radio shows, interviews, trying to push the vision that we've been thinking about ever since we grew up around here, to promote the players around in this area and really just show that other image and other side of us being socially conscious and community conscious. All right. Well, that's going to do it for all the time we have for today's show. For Dale Williams, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball. Have a great week. Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you.